Starting a new live stream.
Great spot.
All right, we're back. Tegan Van Gunst, Zolani Hodell. Wow, a little hubby wife on that one. Guys, I'm using a new iPad, so there might be a little resolution issue in the beginning of it, but I think for the most part we're going to be okay. I just had to sync it with my remote control on the phone. Up and down set. That ball's cross court and restoring order. It's Julia Scholes. UCLA meets USC. Lexi Denaburg. Standout on the beach. UCLA. And Julia Scholes won 2 titles in the last 2 years there. There's the redirect. Beautiful move to tie the game. The phone, the live stream on my phone says it's not starting, but the actual YouTube video is running, so why not? Let's just have a good time and see if it stays up. One way or another, I'm actually recording this. Zolani, and who I know, and Tegan, who watches the games, know that it'll be up later tonight. Beautiful swing by Julia Scholes, and now the score is tied at 4. Hey people, we made it. Jason DeBay is courtside. Who runs the world? Girls. Here's the on-2 and threading the needle on that. Zolani Hodell. Zolani Hodell, a Stanford 4-year player and Para 1. Stand out pretty much since her freshman year. Doing really good things and showed significant improvement training into the U.S. team. I professionally and personally am not a big fan of consistent training groups, but Scott Davenport has made me reevaluate all of my assertions related to that, so I guess all I can say is thank you, Scott. Hodell, man, if she hurts you with her left, go down. All right, fixing the score for everybody. It's now 6-5. This is a rematch from the previous Huntington Beach. These two played each other the last tournament. There's the dig, and double dig on that end. Zolani's like, I don't know, partner. Can't do everything. Nice high toss, and there's that beautiful serve out of the middle. And Hodell with the high set. Wow, so high. It took almost a long time to get down. It goes cross court for the lead.
Devin won the first set.
Who?
Devin.
Wow. Nice.
And what's her name lost? Which you just saw. And that was a close. You happen to see that one by Denaburg? For her here.
That was, so it was Denaburg. Remind me, Denaburg and against Savvy. Oh, jeez.
Savvy won the first one.
Bunch of deja vus, huh? Didn't you have a deja vu moment from Chicago?
No, not at all.
Yeah. I'm having one from this because they played each other the previous Huntington Beach. And this went to 3 the last time they played.
Hodell can make a move up.
I could say. I think she spent years honing it, and you know she had pretty good coaching at Stanford. And, you know, it's hard to be the pair one your freshman year, right? And get the learning curve too.
And how tall is she?
Hodell?
Yeah.
A little taller than me. I'm 6'2".
Oh, she is.
She's big at the net too. She's 6'4" at the net. It's like Trevor, right? He's like 6'4", but he's huge at the net. Like when he was a full-time blocker, he's big at the net.
Straight up. Yeah, Brooke Sweat had another operation on Rick.
She did.
That is great to hear.
Guys, I'm joined by the Matzo right now. It's been nothing but guys with blue checks next to their name. First came Shaw, now the Matzo.
Nice win, Billy Allen over Canada. Huh?
Yes.
And you know DeCal,
But I really hope...
You know DeCal from many
Yes.
years?
Pickett and Chachter, you mean?
No, yeah, but Billy Allen,
Yeah.
DeCal coaching.
Oh, yeah.
DeCal used to play with your friend and my partner, Sadie.
Seydou and then Janako, Cal Baptist.
Well, I'm going to remind him to ask you for money.
Seydou?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he always ask you for money or not?
Yes, he's always hitting me up for money.
You gave me big.
Well,
I always tell him, go ask Travis Uno.
actually, I did it for the other guys in Tanzania that had nothing. I cut them. I gave them balls and gave them a lot of
And you know the most beautiful Moroccan?
Yeah. Oh, no, dark, yeah. Dakar. That's how you pronounce it.
Moroccan version of Ola.
Yes.
You're going to be an Olympian.
Dakar. Yeah. She was on a podcast. Yeah. Julia Skulls to serve. That was matzah, people. Not to be confused with matzah balls. Just matzah. Sorry, gonna get closer to the camera, which is always adventurous. Steven Van Gunst has a very good turn on that swing. I didn't say the W for Derek Zimmerman if you're watching. I know you predominantly like to watch men, but we got a bromance off the court. Wow, there's a little bit of a shank, and her platform was way low and not out there, and sometimes that line of sight from where your platform is way down versus when it's out, just enough to cause a Shankalopolis. 10-9. Zolani at the net. Zolani got extra pointed or field goals on that. Tegan, very patient on the 2-block stay. It takes a lot of discipline to not want to cheat. And for reasons like that, you know, sometimes you don't think you can get it. And good for her for not making an early move. Because Denaburg is one of those people that make you pay every time you leave home early. One away from the technical timeout, using a smaller device that has 100% battery life. Wow. Beautiful pace shot. There's your technical timeout. I would say slight underdogs. I wouldn't say heavy underdogs because they did go to 3 the last time they played, and all 3 sets were competitive. Let's go to the comments section to see if none of this is happening at all, and I'm just talking to myself. All right, we're there. Guys, for those watching, don't forget to smash that like button. Helps out with the algorithm. Also, share and subscribe if you see something you like. NY Varsity Sports is also the Option podcast, so there's a lot of people that don't watch the sport that still follow the podcast, and vice versa. Podcast has turned into something bigger than the sport, and I'm just gonna let it ride its course. Hope I don't get canceled in the middle of it. Back from the technical timeout. Stanford zone, Zolani Hodell. Serving to the net. Now we got sticks on the board. Zolani Hodell, even before she got to Stanford, everyone knew she's going to be a great player. She was indoor for like a cup of coffee, and as soon as she hit the beach, she was like, this is for her. First time I saw her play, she was 14 years old. And she was making woman moves then, and now she's what you would call a real one here at the present time in Huntington Beach, California, north of the pier. Left shoulder serve, but a second move to the midline. Really good pass by Scholes. She found a way to slow down her matrix and fix that previous shank. But I do love the serving strategy. There was a bit of a conversation I had with Tegan and Hodell about that, about serving strategy and sticking with it if it doesn't work early, having that decision to make the change up or apply constant pressure. Whoa, what a disguise on that cut. Dropped like a ton of bricks. Got 13-12, sorry. We're in the first set for those of you that just joined us, and there it is. There's the constant pressure, and that ball's in. 13-13. I'm a realist about who the underdog is here. Of course, it is Hodell and Van Gunst. But if they're going to win this match, and if there's going to be a game decided by 2, it's probably going to have to be this first set. I don't pick winners, of course. I'm calling this match, but just discussing the hypothetical against the absolute heavy favorite. After I just said they weren't a heavy favorite in Scholes and Denaburg. Sorry, supposed heavy favorite. There's another left shoulder serve, and it's working for them now. Like I said before, constant pressure, and the strategic is getting them the plays they want. And at this point, if you get these down ball situations, either you can pick them up or you can't. Either you do or you do not. Top ref, Matt Laveau, one of the best in the business. Deanna Shiner, down ref. Another absolute boss, leading a generation of present tense and young referees into the game. Left shoulder serve. Zolani knows she's got to go, and she gets absolutely Chewbacca'd at the net by Julia Scholes. Pretty good pass. Zolani, drifter set. She knows she's got to go, and Tegan Van Gunst, I think, over-approached that. Wound up at her left shoulder and left her to the dichotomy of hitting hard cross into the block, not very appealing, or seeing if she could poke it over, and went with a ladder. Here we are, 15 up. And they go back to Scholes. No, they're going Oceanside to Denaburg. Nice string creation on that. There's the block. Tegan Van Gunst. Indoor worthy hang time by Tegan.
Come on, Julia, let's go, Lex.
Joined by my bodyguard, Kelly Campbell. the reason I didn't want the coffee there. I know people are gonna spill it. Not you, but people. Kel, there's an empty seat here in the shade if you want. There's a touch. She knows she's got to go, and ball's dug. Looking to tie the game. It's goals. Wow, off the block of Zolani Hodell. This is 16-16. For those of you just joining the live stream, thanks for joining me. My screen was jumping in and out, so I'm doing an APF lock and hope that the sunlight doesn't change.
Michelle won at 13 in the third.
So they're still in, right?
Yeah.
Savvy and Abby are not back, right? Matzah came and broke the bad news. Tegan Van Gunst is hitting on the sand right now as if she was hitting grass or indoor like the Pottstown Rumble. 3-time finalist, 2-time defending, 2-time champion of the biggest grass tournament. In fact, I'll say the most grueling volleyball tournament in all of outdoor volleyball.
Oh, it's a new name. Nine.
Oh dear, I gotta stop calling her skulls then.
I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know for sure.
We got a Chewbacca block and a switch. Donlin is her new name, huh? It shows what I know. I'm having a Chrissy Jones, Chrissy Shunderword flashback. During the timeout or between sets, that's a cool story to tell about Chrissy Jones and her name change. There's the recovery. She knows she's got to go. Hodell down the middle. Left shoulder dig. And there's a little bit of a collision, and I really hope the Hodell's okay. But it looked like it was a knee to shin thing and not an ankle bender. But we know who the ball is going to. That's an obvious crash by the offensive player. Timeout is called. 19-17. If I were Hodell, I wouldn't sit. I'd walk around a little bit. Once again, as I was saying about the referees before, nice young generation of referees leading the charge, being up to date on the rules, establishing a criteria on what's a double and what's not. And there's going to be mistakes, but there's a ton of consistency on how the ball's being called as it comes in, as opposed to how the ball's being called when it comes out. Very much like the international scene. Difference of opinion of that in the South Bay, but it is what it is. And the referees, I will only say this. If you don't know they're up there, they're doing their job.
Thanks, guys, for keeping an eye on our bag.
Coming, right? Yeah. Donlin, sorry. Actually, I meant to tell that story, but I'll tell it between sets about Chrissy Jones to Shunderword.
I'm good. How are you?
Steve, I found this one roaming the street. She looks kind of cute, so.
Yeah, the other way around. She
I'll
found
offer
you
her a
roaming the
seat,
streets,
yeah.
man.
She's the only one that had the will to sit next to me.
You're the wild animal in this relationship.
A little bit of a collision at the net. There's another left shoulder serve. Good constant pressure. Scolds. Gets blocked. Good cover. Trying to go line over. No! A little of a stuntman double guess by...
People trying to make a living, they're getting 1.5. Savvy and Evan are both out. They got a wedding. So yeah, we're gonna lodge our complaints. Heads up.
You said Evan? Which Evan?
Corey. They lost to Troy and Theo. Tight third.
I'm not going to say it on launch.
Sean Cook is out, which is ridiculous. He pulled 2 seconds.
He's not even here today, though, right?
So
Sean's not even here today, was he?
Good.
Yeah.
They just lost in the stadium.
To who?
Theo and Troy. Tied in the third. This is ridiculous. There should be a contender.
Yeah.
We've already had this discussion. Absolutely.
Let's show the serve back to her.
Because
Set
there
point
are some
opportunity
teams that
number
did so
2, and that ball
Phil and
is.
Trevor.
Is there a touch on that?
Come on.
I'd go timeout on this, maybe. They could discuss their last
team in the
play.
league, you got to beat those two teams. So when I look at the men's bracket,
Will she jump serve? You better believe it. No, she's jump floating. If you jump float to Tegan Van Gunst, that's a wrap. Van Gunst, teardrop, that ball is in.
so this is the time.
And that's game.
Out of 8 are in the league.
Called right away by the top ref, Matt Laveau. That's the end of the first set.
This is kind of like
We go to the comment section.
They'd had to beat them, then beat them, and then play them.
Well, how about stop giving people wild cards and keep it in?
Now, it's a business. I understand. I have no problems with wild cards.
But it's personal when they lose.
Nope. The wild cards make sense. Christian and Taryn, you need the Canadians in.
Right.
And Phil's swats on.
But even if Christian and Taryn weren't in, you know if they went to any of these 3 tournaments, they take it one.
Yeah. So what it's
Because
doing is
that's what real
put
ballers
them
do.
in, and then let the other teams fight for the positions. But then we have the third event where that's how it's working now.
All right, cool. Comment section. Riley Wilkers Waterman says, "Can you please cover Buttinger versus Field game if you can?" If it's on court 2, the answer to that is yes. This is supposed to be 3 because yesterday this is court 3. Then they switched this to 2. And I kind of set up my shade tent here. You know, I got my high chair. I'm kind of in this little rock star position. So if they come to me, the answer is yes. If the answer is no, I guarantee you, Miles Evans has a huge following, and his Insta handle, and his Twitter page, and his TikTok and YouTube handle, and Facebook Live. One of those, I promise you, will have Miles Evans live. Promise you that. Troy Field, he's paying people to watch him on Twitch, and for that I say good for him. Entrepreneur yourself.
So it's not like real. Oh boy!
That ball is dug and out of bounds and striking first blood.
If you only have one other first down. We're going to support the league. We're going to go to a couple schools.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the NY Varsity podcast booth.
My man, AWEX. Listen,
Yeah, I
yo,
do,
my
yeah.
security is on point.
Are you live right now?
Yeah, I'm live. Come
Let's
join me. You can
go.
stand next to it or sit. Doesn't matter.
I stand by all my comments.
Yeah. Actually, you take
Nice setup.
you take the high chair. I'll stand.
Really?
Yeah, I've been stiff as a board.
You've been doing great. I've been listening.
As the Irish will say, stiff as a board.
I've been listening.
Yes.
Hi guys. How's it going?
Like the Scot says, different than the body. I can crush you like a watermelon. I thought he said Wallum. You ever seen Braveheart? The movie Braveheart? He's like, I can crush you like a watermelon. It's actually worm, but I thought he said Wallum. What do we got? We got scoreboard 1-2. Hey guys, I'm joined by the great, incomparable founder and program director of West Coast Volleyball, also AVP main draw, also UCLA alum and rock star Aaron Wexler.
Let's go.
Let's go, literally. You missed a match as far as Let's Go GEAUX. I'm on the small iPad because the big one, the battery does.
Got it. Hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me. You do such a great job on these broadcasts, man.
The last match had 168 comments, and I can't repeat a lot of it, but it's all positive.
Nah, dude,
like,
you're
all
doing
of
great.
it was positive. They were like, "Thanks for streaming," and
Yeah.
I think I speak for Aaron and myself. We're glad to have you in our living room. Glad to have you in our lives.
Boom! Right through the block.
Now, you as a club coach have seen these girls all the way from the junior scene to beach volleyball national events to the college scene, and now here they are, the pros. And let's focus on Zalani Hodell, man. What do you think of her ascension from 14 years old, to what she's become?
It's amazing how good kids have become with this game. It's amazing the progression that players are making with the skill level. it's constant, right? And it's super cool to see the progression from all these players, you know, and they just continue to level up and level up and level up.
Hey, I gotta tell you too, this is a rematch from the previous Huntington Beach tournament, Huntington Beach 2. That went to 3 sets. Skulls, or should I say Donlin, her new last name. Donlin and Denaburg won 3 against this very team, and then they won. They secured their spot for the league.
Wow.
Here's the first switch of the game. It's 3-4.
I like the walk and talk.
Who are you coaching yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday I was coaching a qualifier team, Addie Williams and Arlie Hirschberg. They were juniors in high school playing in this event, and I'm so proud of them.
That's great.
We ran into a tough one, match 1, but that's how it goes.
The ball was a little bit rushed, and wow, Denaburg acted like she had somewhere to go, man. That was a little bit, might have maybe give it another second on that.
You just never want to serve in the net, ever.
Yeah,
You know?
as a general
It's just
rule.
like the worst play in volleyball.
Yeah, give us the wind conditions today, Aaron.
Well, it's not that bad for Huntington,
it's like
you know?
nothing, almost nothing, right?
But you do have a cross breeze. Ooh, that's dig. Right in the
There's
pocket.
a dig by Van Gunst. Free ball opportunity, looking for 5. Denaburg blocked!
You know,
Zolani Hodell's her space.
I just want to say something. I just came from the CBVA Open in Hermosa this morning, the Pelka. And
Everyone can set.
that was a great handset right there. But I was talking to CB earlier and Palui about the hand setting, and it's just amazing how everyone can set.
You know what I think helped? They had some no-hands tournaments for beach volleyball national events, where the girls just get to work it out in real game situations
Yeah.
where they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And generationally, the women have led the way and picked up where they left off. That ball never crosses the net. That's to a former Julius goes in the timeout, a very early timeout. Wisdom beyond their years. I like that.
But it's a great timeout
It
because
is.
that's a tough play, and if you don't take a timeout there, that play can carry into negative momentum to the next play. So I like this timeout. Reset.
I always say, if you're not sure if you should call a timeout or not call a timeout. My better half, who's sitting next to you, was my assistant coach in games that I've lost, where like we walk home and she's like, "Yeah, you probably should," and I'm like, "Okay, you're my timeout coach from now on."
What is it about timeouts? They're up 7.
Yeah,
They get 3 in a row.
3 in a row timeout.
Yeah, 3 in a row.
Yep,
Old
timeout.
school.
Everybody forgets that. I'll play after I'm down. I'm like, kill it early.
I was in a high school game and she was there with me, and we're up 23-17 the last game, and I had both timeouts, and the coach left me and the player took over and said next play, and I abandoned my job as a coach,
As soon as
and
you
that
say
was a
next play.
38-1 season. That was the loss.
Next play is desperation.
But you heard,
If you're saying that comment, you gotta call it.
yeah, you heard though, 38 wins, 1 loss, and that was a loss. You never remember the 38 wins. You remember the loss.
And you want to get a side out
Yeah.
right out of the timeout to make it a good timeout.
All right, we're back from the timeout. That's 6-4. Guys, I'll go to the comment section in a minute, which is actually filling up. I'm glad you
Great
guys
timeout.
love the ladies, and Aaron said great timeout.
Great timeout. I mean, they just had a bad play all the timeout. Yeah.
Paul from Saxophone North.
Hey, what's up, dude? How's it going?
Good. Paul Lord. Good friends with Yates.
Oh yeah.
We played
Conlin
grass
to serve.
a long time ago. Yeah.
Conlin, left shoulder serve, and
West Coast
Zolani,
Beach is my club.
who has her serve receive has picked up significantly. Zolani Hodell, Stanford product.
But I like that because that's actually a good miss. You're going for it on the ocean side to the
Absolutely.
sideline. That's totally fine. That's an aggressive serve.
And at this level, you have to serve aggressively because a lollipop's the same thing as a side
Gotta
out.
go for it, especially in this tournament. That's a great.
There's a line over. Zolani, 1 move to the ball. Transition. Can she go? She knows she's got to go. And Conlin, Van Gunst. Wow. There's a block and going on the twist. Who's going to blink? Is it Tegan? Not yet. How about Denaburg? Whoa, what a dig down the hatch. Transition. Tegan.
Nice play.
Van Gunst
Nice play.
goes for the Yahoos.
And nothing fires you up more than a real point. A play in transition where you get a dig and you put that ball away. Nothing fires you up. That's a great play there.
And nothing fires up the crowd as well. This capacity crowd on court 2, close to the Strand, joined by my center of positivity. Turns my frown upside down, Aaron Wexler.
But I can, speak on that from experience. When you get a dig in the pocket like that, and you take someone's hard heat, and you immediately transfer it into a transition kill, it's
Yes.
a great feeling.
So for those of you that just joined the live stream, thank you for having us. I fixed it so you guys know who's up. Leading by 3 in the set, leading 1-0 in the match is Van Gunst and Hodell. On a hotly contested first set, but Hodell's blocking just picked up an absolutely Chewbacca Denaburg. And here's our switch, which is now 9-5. Tegan Van Gunst, once again, Pottstown Rumble. Made the finals 3 years in a row. Last year, the year before that, and the year before that, won 2 out of the 3. She is an all-purpose player. She plays grass, she plays beach, she plays volleyball, she plays on planet Mars with left shoulder serve, and that's where they've been going, Aaron. Get your analytical on that. And she's not Zolani's not the only one that can Chewbacca people.
It's a really good technical block, and she didn't go and take too much, right? She took the spot, did a nice press right at the right time, and that's what blockers want to do. They don't want to do too much up there.
Hodell back to the service line. Expect her to go to position 4, zone 4. Constant pressure is the key. No, this time they go middle, and that ball left balloons out of bounds.
We really don't like that as coaches, right? Because your team just has a ton of momentum. You go right back to the player that just got blocked. Put it right back to her. But if you serve it out like that, you're just giving up the momentum immediately.
Agreed. You also, if you consider the strategic, all of the serves that went to position 4, that was the first one that went to the middle, and like you said, sailed out of bounds. They're going to zone 1, they're going after Tegan again, and Tegan, boy, big old skinny boy called an antenna in front of her face.
Well, it's a good serve going to the ocean side. Like we said, there's a little wing, but that little wing does create a little bit of movement on that ball.
You want to see her serve to space be a little bit more faster, though. Oh, the tape determined how that was going to go. Tegan wasn't sure, took it. I don't blame her. And second, man, the biggest enemy so far her the whole entire match has been the antenna.
And you know what? A play like that, yeah, exactly. That'll create momentum, forcing a timeout there. And that team that just had kind of not so great body language. I was watching them on the last switch. Their body language was really down. This can create an immediate change. And that's the beauty of the sport, right?
Like a transition and momentum.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's check out the comment section. What do you guys got? Come on, Julia, keep fighting. It's bright beauty. Jimmy B says Hodell is 22. She's on her way up. I watched Hodell play since she was 14 years old. Man, she was a woman then, and she's more now. Skulls is pissed at that set. As you just said, there was a language thing that changed.
Yeah. And
Can you change the camera to any side view? I could, but I would need someone to move it left and right. So for now, because of the crowd and the space that people will not give me if I move, I'm going to stay with the back shot a little bit, but I'll certainly provide a zoom in if you want. But thanks for the comment. Can you please cover Budinger and Field? If they come here, yes. Thanks for streaming today. Cool.
Yeah. And for everyone listening, Jason has a great setup right here. Nice tent, good seat, a little tripod. It's a great little setup. Court 2, Huntington Open. Let's go.
Yes. And joined by, again, the center of positivity, the author, the inspired athlete. Back from that timeout, and I like that. Once again, 3 points, automatic timeout, and that counts. Shot counts and the foul.
And another good timeout, right? Got the point out of her timeout. That's what we call a good timeout. Controlling the pace, right? You want to control the pace of the game. You don't want your opponent to control the pace.
I had a conversation with him after the loss at Huntington Beach that you and I should talk about the technical timeout. Inside set and nice turn, and she knows she's got to go, and just a bit outside.
Awesome hustle, though. We love to see it. We love to see that. Nice patience. Her stance was low enough so she could glide and make that play.
It's also where she stopped her swing. When you stop your swing on behind your head, right, that ball doesn't top spin anymore. It kind of left balloons.
Yeah.
even a ball as drop friendly as the optics. Wow.
Smooth side out. Smooth
My
side out.
goodness. That's 12-9, and now we're here at the technical timeout. And here's the conversation I had as we go to the timeout.
Sure.
They lost to Julius Gold's Donlin the last tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It was in 3, and they felt they played well, and they still lost. And they, I walked by because I did coach against Enzolani when she was a juniors player, and she's like, any tips, and the only thing I can say is always, when you're not sure, always go back to where you're serving, because at this level, serve and constant pressure helps. So I wanted you to talk about when to change serve location and when to have a strategy, and like if it works or not, do you keep that pressure? The floor is yours, to the expert.
I was just thinking about that because they switched the last serve. They went to the ocean side for the last couple plays. Then they switched it to the strand side, which I thought was a mistake. And it turned out to be a mistake because that player just went up and cleanly sided out. So to go on the whole talk about who to serve, basically what you do is you start on the ocean side. You start the first match. Let's just attack the ocean side because that small little drift does affect the ball like we talked about. And then you look for openings. Who's sleeping right now? Maybe they tried to catch you sleeping earlier.
Right.
But I love the short serve and I love the top spin serve.
Yep.
In addition to the jump float, which the jump float seems to be the standard these days.
Well, again, the top spin serve in the classic sense of the definition is the constant pressure serve, right?
There's that jump float.
There's that left shoulder, huh? Back set, and let me tell you something. Denaburg, whenever you serve her left shoulder, 10 out of 10 times, she will be going back set. She will not be creating her string out of the middle.
Well, I think that's good. Any oceanside player, I play right. Any oceanside player, you get pulled to the left a little bit. You want to pass in front, run that back set.
Yep. Hey, on our TV screen, oceanside is the right, strand side or inland is the left. Nice hold on her platform. There's a look away on that one, and Gunst gets jammed again, and this time doesn't want to risk the double and tomahawks.
Great play. I love the side set. They're going to complain about it, but I love it, and I love the no call, actually.
I kind of do too. There's nothing in the rule book that says it looks funny. The call has to be double or lift, and if you can't call either one.
I thought it was clean. I heard some oohs and ahs from the crowd, but that's what you want. You want some controversial plays out here. I think that's great.
We had a great controversial conversation about single elimination versus double elim, which I'll get your opinion on in a minute. As that serve goes to the middle, they get their touch, and unfortunately the stunt double dive goes backwards.
So that's a good example. They missed the set there. There's a play call. She wanted it outside. The set got his way in. But she did a nice job being an athlete and making an adjustment, going to the ball. They talked about it afterwards, said, hey, I'll call that next time.
Here's the block, but nice cover. And Tegan trying to do the Texas 2 kick on that end. And like you said, a little bit of a momentum change. Didn't have to be big, just had to be just enough to creep back into this game where they're trailing by 1 in this set and trailing 0-1 in the match.
All it takes is one play sometimes. One play. And really, what you want is 2 plays. You want 2 in a row.
Yeah, get a good dig,
want 2.
or maybe they get a miss, or you get a good touch block. And make it a game, right?
You want 2 in a row because that's one real point. Good serve there.
Passes are very shooty. Another down ball situation and going on 2, and Solani. Oh, there's the layoff and a big smile on her face right in our living room, if you will, by Lexi Denaburg.
And there's the 2 points in a row. Now you have the momentum switch. You keep the serve on the strand side player. She's struggling with her passing a little bit. Let's see if they can take the lead here.
Great coaching pedigree by all 4 of these competitors. Donlin played for Dane at USC. Won the title. And Zolani knows that she's going to compete set. She's got to cover a different way. And that's something I'd like to see more from the elite athletes. Like, I'm 55 years old. If I'm not covering, you understand? You get that.
Well, I just want to talk about the swing. So it's kind of
Risque.
it's not a great swing because that's not available. The turn back wrist away into the block.
Agreed.
Not available.
No, it's and like you said, like we were saying, very risque. I think she went. She knows she's got to go. There's the poke, and Zolani right now, they need to call a timeout because her first step, as far as pursuing those, is very, very slow.
Did they call one earlier?
No. I wonder.
Early in the game, remember?
I wonder. Yeah, I think they did.
They did at 6:30.
Yeah, because they were up.
So they don't have any timeouts. They gotta grind it out. You can fix the line. You can slow it down. You can put your hand up if you want, but you gotta roll.
A little court maintenance, right?
You know.
Well, they knew this wasn't going to be easy, and if you wanted to be in the league, you got to get through teams like this who never quit. Wow, the I formation hits right into it. Here's the jump, and a little bit of a close press on that, huh?
Look at the side switch. I love this side switch right here. This is another tool. And they're going to try to do it secretly. Let's see if the other team picks up on it.
They're going
Yep.
after Tegan Van Gunst.
Yep.
They might as well. And will they fall for the mousetrap? Will they keep serving Oceanside?
They
No,
found
they're
it.
going after her. That's a mistake. And again, no cover. They've got to do better at this level.
And if I was coaching, and I'm surprised not to see a coach out there, but if I was coaching, I would just remind her to soften up the platform. Really just focus right now when you're down like this and bad momentum, come back to the pass.
Maybe get
pass
that
and
hold,
set,
right?
pass and
See how
set.
you got
Yeah.
that.
Hug it, hug it, hug it.
There's the hold. A little bit better. And that ball drifted inside and almost an offensively hard-driven trap.
Well, what that is frustration angle. She didn't get the set. She wanted it. She wanted a little bit more outside. And then instead of being crafty and looking for a cut shot or a short shot, that's called frustration angle.
Agreed. Their first hit is very shooty as well, and there's the cover, and there's the knuckle, and wow, finally stopping the bleeding, and what looks like a bit of an exhale, just getting the serve back. And
But-
maybe they go back to the strategic. They got a lot of work to do.
But this is very common for all levels, right? We all go through these moments of like angst and frustration and heaviness, and you got to breathe through it and fight your way back.
Zolani to serve. Again, pair one Stanford player, 4 years, and the biggest taboo that you mentioned in the beginning of this match.
Just don't want to do that. But also, if that does happen, move through it quick. Next ball. Focus on the pass. Find your angles.
I mean, how do you get? We'll talk about it after this play, but back to zone one. Tegan's back on zone one. Tegan. That ball's out of bounds, and set point opportunity number one.
This is all just mental mistakes right now. She's got to find a way to breathe, come back to her strong voice, get some momentum for the next game here.
And that ball's out of bounds, and gracefully or graciously, this match is over for Zolani Hodell and Tegan Van Gunst. And I think what I was saying before, let's say you're having a bad serving day, like you're probably one of those great servers, but your server's betraying you today, right?
Yeah.
Is there something where you're like, okay, I'm having a bad serving day, let's make sure I'm a better blocker, let's make sure I check the other boxes?
Similar in basketball, like shooters shoot, right? But sometimes shooters can't find it, and they're not hitting. And so then what do they do? They become great passers. They become great rebounders. They contribute in other ways. But the thing with serving is you got to keep looking for it. You got to keep trying to find it.
All right, here we go. Let's go to the comments section. Hodell is 22. I got that. Come on, Julia, keep fighting. Not only is she fighting, she's dominating. Andrew Kane says, great live stream. Thank you, brother. Hey, Bright Beauty, you're back. This stream quality is so much better than the Pallies. I'm going to leave that one alone. No, look, I'm not going to shy away from saying that I agree. I know they had some technical issues in the morning. And for me, because I got the master of positivity next to me, I'm going to land on that one. But no, thanks for the comment. It is for sure 100% not ignored. So
Hey guys, keep writing comments. We love it. We love to see it. Love the engagement.
it grows the page too. Like
Yeah.
the last men's match, like 168 comments.
No, we love it. Keep it coming, guys.
And I speak for Aaron and myself. We do it for the people. This, to us, I know you're grateful for us doing this, but to us, it is a debt that is owed. You gave this to us, the gift of gab as coaches or whatever. And I speak for myself. This is the debt that is
same
owed.
thing. For me,
Yeah.
it's sharing knowledge. I love this game. I want to share it. And thanks for the AVP. You know,
Yeah.
you guys doing it. You guys doing your best out here. We like to see it.
I really do. I mean, I've been one of their biggest critics in the late
Same with me.
2017s, but there's been this reversal of just looking at positive things. You
Well,
know?
we're both critical because we're both fans. We want
Right.
to see it thrive. That's it.
And in your defense, none of it's been unfair, right? I mean, it didn't come from this harsh place. It's, it's about listening and seeing it.
Yeah.
All right, striking first blood in the third set, taking that momentum from the second set all the way back to this third set is Julia Donlin. I had some plays to her old name that I got to get rid of now. Zolani Hodell, that's an inside set, and
Great play.
much play. And Zolani reminding everybody why she's not been getting served.
Yeah.
That's one apiece.
I was gonna say serving mistake, but great play, great smooth side out, right up the middle.
I love what you said about passing too. Just, cradle it, hold it, find out how you get there, and stop shooting the ball. Stop shooting the ball indoor style to the net. And oh wow, the volleyball gods decided you shall not pass.
Too many of those. But credit to Coach Evie Matthews. Evie told me about that concept of hugging it, and you want to hug the ball with technique when you pass that ball. Give it a hug.
My mentor, Mario Trevich, always said hold, because when you hold and you leave your platform out there, you can hit the rewind button as we get a transition play here.
Right.
Scoring opportunity, free ball. There's the shoot, Zolani,
Oh.
dub, free ball. Who's gonna bite? Going for two, Hodell. Good night!
Great approach. Love her approach on the ball. She approaches the ball the same every time, and that's really hard to defend. Right, and you have to respect the hard angle.
And it gets rid of a little bit of the rigidness in where they were playing volleyball, right?
Yeah.
Like, this team loves to run back sets. They like to run shoots, and we haven't seen any of that. They kind of abandoned their element, and maybe because of a heightened situation of trying to get into the lead, right?
Yep.
This is a very big obstacle, and they know that if they could get past them, they can win. They can win this league.
And
This is their most stylistically difficult match.
And I love that the AVP put something on the line for these tournaments, right? We love that. We love to see what's on the line here. And what's on the line for this tournament, whoever wins this qualifies for the league.
Right.
Right? And then you're kind of, as a player, if that happens, you're kind of set for summer. You know your schedule, you know where to go. It becomes way more professional, and we like to see that.
Absolutely. It also gives the people permission to get after it.
Yeah.
And not be so careful,
Yep.
Wow.
It's a good swing.
And there's the back set. There's the adjustment we were looking for. And like I said, this team loves to run back sets, trick plays, shoots. And we haven't seen that. And finally, we saw them being themselves a little bit more. Now they're back to a constant service pressure, maybe zone 4.
And that was a great play because they came back to their basics. Pass and set.
They're zone 4 again. And that's what got them to the dance. Back set of our own, but I almost knew that was going to be a dig. Transition, Tegan. Wow, shutting the door. It's Donlin.
When
But
you're getting...
they get digs like that. Sorry, you were saying?
No, I was gonna say, I was just thinking about myself as a player. When I get set too tight right there, it can really frustrate you, and especially in transition because the ball's coming off of your platform with so much spin. You almost want to look at your partner and say, "Come on, partner, I need that set off. We want that transition kill."
I also would have loved her on that transition just to run the back set again. She was going for a drifter to the antenna instead, and that ball's out of bounds, and so Lonnie is feeling it right now.
And that's a forced play right there, right? And sometimes as coaches, we look for those forced plays so we can remind our players not to do that. It's not what we want. We want to allow players to find the flow.
Forced plays as a result of another pass that got shot to the net. There's the better pass. That's the up and down. And there's the use. 4-5 looking for the switch.
Really
you
good.
like the high pass?
Well,
court
just
vision?
great ball control, right?
Yeah.
If you have ball control or BC like that, it sets you up for success when it comes to swinging or shooting or just siding out or scoring points, Ball control.
Calling an indoor match, LMU against UNLV last year, and high jumping team, but the ball control was significantly better for the home Lions. Left shoulder serve, and that was their strategy coming into this game. And again, that's getting them digs. Second dig, she's got to go on her third attempt. Donlin Donlin, line over. Doug, who's gonna blink? And that ball's out of bounds.
Nice.
And there's the breath of fresh air Zolani on the switch has been waiting for.
Great playing by both teams there. Nice scrapping. I love it. The defenders getting in the pocket. I love the deflections off the block.
And we love the strategic. The beginning of the game, their strategic was to go to position 4, left shoulder. And sometimes, you know, Julia will get like a perfect passes in the first 2.
Yeah.
You don't abandon it.
Come on, Julia.
You stay with it.
You stay with it. You stay with it. That's called grinding the ocean side. And, you know, that sometimes that's a great, so going back to serving, sometimes you just grind.
Is a grind in the ocean side. Like now they're over here. Do you think they're going to do the same thing in
think so.
position 1 Denaburg? Or will they continue to go after Scott?
I think they go ocean side or aggressive in the middle.
Got you. Jason DeBeas, Aaron Wexler, thanks for having us. For those of you that just joined us, we're tied at 1 apiece, 5-5. She's such a good out-assistant hitter, man. It is like freedom is not free when it comes to Julia Donlin.
But going back to the serve, she did kind of give it that nice float action to the middle.
Right.
It did slip to the strand side player, but I like that serve. You know, you gotta really find your spots as a server. Find your angles.
100%. Copacetic. Yes, sir. They go to Tegan Van Gunst. That's strand side. They chased her on strand side. There's the block. There's the cover. Zolani Hodell, great liftoff and trick on the 4-block switch. The payoff. Doug again, perfect dig. There's the hold, and oof, she lost control of her setting ability. Wow. And that ball is escorted out by Julia Donlin, which I'm going to change right now. I got to change it in the heading. I got her as skulls. Denaburg is URG. Just changing it on the
yeah,
heading.
I was looking at that. Threw me off a little bit.
then-
Hey, great scramble play.
Donlin.
Love to see that too, and that's a good timeout too. Right after a scramble, if you lose a scramble play like that, sometimes you gotta just call a timeout and reset. I like this timeout here. If you don't call a timeout and you're tired from a scramble play and then you're bummed out, you're frustrated, that can usually lead to an error, which as it would be another point. So I like this timeout.
Perfect. 100% right. Let's go to the comment section. You guys have been fantastic today. I do, look, the criticism of their stream, I'm glad that you posted that. And the only reason why I sounded like I shied away from it is because I made a promise to my Mother's Day significant other, frown upside down, you know? And you came along and
And then I
kind of
showed
like
up.
solidified that. You are doing the Lord's work, Bright Beauty. Love it. Hodell is spelled with 1 L. Got you.
Got it. Yeah, that's right.
Agreed. Yeah, I've been.
Thank you. See, we look at the chats,
Yes,
guys.
great live stream, Julie. Keep fighting. Cool. Thanks, guys. Fixing that now, too. Sorry, guys. And you know what's crazy? When she was a juniors player and I was calling her 15s and 16s matches, I also misspelled it Hodell back then. So 8 years ago, same mistakes. 6 years ago, sorry. Same mistakes. And Van Gunst.
Hope everyone's doing good out there. Thanks for watching.
It has been the live streams, the actual in-game live streams, the viewership. I'm happy.
No, it's good. You're doing a good thing, dude.
Yeah, and the whole purpose too was to take the journey with the the commenters with us, right?
Yep. Yep.
We see you, you see us, and we're all having a good time here.
Yep.
There's the up and down set. That might be a little tight.
It is, yeah. The setting is a little bit tight. If I'm that right side player over there, I'm looking to ask my partner to get me off a foot. Give me some space.
How do you do that?
You just tell her, you know, you just communicate and you just say, hey, set me off a little bit. You know, I'm getting phone booth a little bit. You know, getting phone booth means I don't really have too many options because the block is pretty big. It's a good block.
These are world-class players,
Yeah.
right? There are a few points of being the second team in the Olympics, right? I mean, people know that Hughes and Chang were there, and the NOLA girls were there, but these girls Betsy was right there with her.
Right.
Wow. She made 2 moves to midline that. And that is out of bounds, Luff Balloon.
Ooh.
And they got a challenge, but I think this one is academic, and maybe it's a de facto timeout. You know, which is also
Matt Laveau, one of the best refs out here.
Absolutely. And Deanna Shiner, the down ref, she's not too shabby herself, right?
Great crew, great crew.
Yep. His original call was, yeah. And Matt went out of courtesy because if I'm guessing on what Matt was thinking, his eye test saw it was more significantly out than the challenge prescribed. 7-7, two evenly matched teams in this decisive third set. Zolani patrolling the net. I do like Zolani playing defense though over Gunst, but there's a but to it, of course.
I was just gonna say she reminds me a lot of Brandy Wilkerson. The way that she gets down in that crouch. Not all blockers can do that.
Yep.
To get way down in that crouch, you have to have a ton of leg strength and great timing to be able to make that play.
Her upside is ridiculous too.
Yeah.
And in many ways on her swing and her open up technique is even better than Brandy, even though Brandy is a world class player. Until she isn't, she's always going to be the better player. There's the left shoulder serve. And that's creating the problems, and that forces cross court into the hatch. Free ball opportunity. Drifter set. Denaburg. Doug. She knows she's got to go. Tegan! Rips one. And immediate timeout called.
Yep, and a good timeout because
Zolani can hear me. She's like, they call timeout.
yeah, that's a good timeout though, right? Because a play like that, again, momentum builder, momentum shifter. You immediately want to stop those bleeding there. You want to stop the momentum for the other team.
All right, here's a question.
Yeah.
For someone who's been in the jaw and basically everywhere, man. Aaron Wexler.
I know.
The ball's down, right? You got a little time before the ref blows the whistle. Do you wait to see the setup to see if you're ready, or do you just jump on the early
To call a
time?
timeout?
Yeah.
No, I wait.
Do you measure the integrity of the scene before the next serve and then call it last minute?
It's actually a pretty good question because you could do it immediately like we just saw, or wait like you're saying. I think I would wait.
Right.
I like to wait a little bit longer. Just another opportunity to take a deep breath.
I wonder if the coach told him to.
Well,
Because the league rules, the coaches are now allowed to call timeout and tell the players to do that. Something I didn't know when I lost a third set, 17-15 with Sam Knowles and Vaughn. No one told me.
right.
They said we changed the rule in 2020. I'm like, you mean the year nobody played?
Yeah, right.
At Long Beach.
It's funny because this team on our side here doesn't have a coach, but they're winning.
Right.
And I was just gonna say, it kind of creates this dynamic if you don't have a coach.
They have a huge conglomerate of players that have of the previous two moves.
And going back to the coaching,
Maybe go back set again.
going back to the coaching point, I'm a big fan of less is more. I think you want to stay quiet and relaxed because this sport is all about decision making.
Agreed. It's about fighting in their cornerman too, right? Like some fighters want as much as they can, because they're going back out there for another 3-minute round. So
Sure. I love the spacing on that last set. You see that?
Yes.
It's great spacing there. So that allows the hitter to.
Also, I liked her string creation. She's been approaching out and in on the ocean side, and that one she went in and out, and that's what we teach our kids on ocean side.
Yep. Come inside the court a little
Solani,
bit.
back to zone 4. That's a brilliant hold by Julia. Julia cross court
That's OT.
with a nasty OT. Score is tied, and a New York reference, 10-10 wins. Give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
It was a great hit because she recognized that the blocker was back serving, and she didn't run up to the net. That was a good recognition. In this sport, there's so many little things to be aware of, and that was one little small thing that she was aware of. It was good.
Julia to serve. Little silence because she can pretty much hear me when she's serving.
Another great set.
Oh, the cut, the hot. Tegan Van Gunst this is like her time tight game situations,
Good hit.
there is no sweat in her palms. And you know what? For Julia, there's no sweat in her palms either.
That was right to the cones. We call that a cones rep. Because that's in the cones. in
This
practice.
has turned into match of the day. You got 4 competitors here at 11 up, sticks on the board, not wanting to give up the goods.
Love it. Love to see it.
Drawing a line in the sand, metaphorically and literally. This time they go to Hodell, Oceanside. That pass got shot again.
Yeah.
And there's a net violation off a clean set. And
So, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, that's it.
I was going to say, that was another good example of going against the game plan at the right time. She caught the Oceanside player sleeping a little bit, got a bad pass out of it at the right time in the match.
So then do you go back to Van Gunst on this or stay with Hodell?
I might go back to Van Gunst because you just got a point on him.
Right.
You just got a
Now you
point on
want to
him.
see if Hodell can deliver that set.
And now she's thinking
Right.
about that, and she's thinking right now. And I think I would put that ball right back to her.
They also have a young person's habit. Whenever they pass poorly, they tend to get lower and lower, looking for that perfect pass. And when you're out of system low, it presents problems. It shoots to the net. Here's the up and down set. That's tight. And once again, like I said before, if you're going to set tight, you have to be the first one at the scene of the crime to cover.
And in this situation, if I'm on the other side, I might switch sides right here. This is where a coach comes into play. Hey, switch real quick. Just to change it up. Because now the momentum is
I'd
clearly on
love to
this
see
side.
her go back to that too. Again, this is something they've done previous matches, and here it is.
Go, Lexi.
Oh wow, there was no touch. All right, we're back. It's chopping a little bit, but we're back.
So at this time in the match, this is chess. This is chess and this is heart.
Yeah.
Can you have both as a player? Can you
Right.
be a chess player and can you have the heart of Rudy at the exact same time?
Tell you what, if they come back and win this, they might carry her off the field. Solani Hodell with a critical serve of her career. Zone 4, that's a shooty pass. Back sets, go.
Great two block. Just time.
13 up. You can cut the tension with a knife. 14 and there's an ace! Oh! And who's feeling it now?
What a momentum shift, huh? The block.
If they win this game, I promise you they're gonna run to this tent. We had this conversation for 15 minutes about when to abandon the strategic and when to change. Did they go back there?
Oh yeah, she's going straight back
Yes.
to Oceanside, 100%.
Concentration. Wow, that time she midlined it. Match point. Solani makes it 14 apiece.
It's a good run.
This is wild.
Yeah, it is. This is what you want. This is what we all want. We want to see these matches go 3, go 14 all, go overtime. This is what everyone wants. Come on, comment section. That's what you guys want too, right?
Yes, 100%. Maybe while they're doing Shades maintenance, I think I lost my resolution for a minute, but I think it popped back. I think I just want to make sure it's on my 5G. Where are we? Comment section. What say you, people? Yeah, everything crashed. That's on Valleys. You have live court 1. Oh, this time it's Zerv Zolani. That's her set. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Great swing.
Hey, from where we're sitting, we could have called that.
Great swing.
And now Tegan Van Gunst, such a good blocker. Do you have her go up? They've been splitting block the whole day.
No, you just go with the.
Two to midline. Van Gunst.
Let's go, Taylor.
Finally cracked the code after multiple times.
Wow, great game.
That one, 19-17. Guys, thanks for sticking with me on this chippy choppy end of live stream. I hope you were provided with entertainment by my counterpart, Aaron Wexler. Anything to say about this match? Let's stay on a little bit.
Hey, you know what? That was a great match. Right. You know, I mean, what we saw there was a great display of ball control.
Right.
Great attacking. Awesome defense. Could have gone either way. I don't see the chat, so I can't really respond. But if you're hearing this, Huntington Open is awesome. Beautiful weather. It's a little warm out here. Ton of people. And it looks like we got Taylor Crabb coming up next. That's cool. Looks like Taylor versus Avery. Taylor?
No. I don't care about that. I was like,
Yeah, Wyatt playing with Avery?
But we'll find out, guys. Stick with me. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, I'm gone. But if I am gone,
What's up, Billy?
I love all you to death. For Aaron Wexler, for my crew, for my bodyguards, for my significant other, I'm Jason DeVillas. Hope you had a great time with me today. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys.
Yeah. Hey.